What's going on, guys? Pramienjager here with Covert Black Gaming. I have the Steelseries Rival500 mouse, which I won via a clan competition in the game Division 2. Clan leader Stygian sent this over to me, and it seems like a really nice mouse. I did a little bit of research online before I got it just to cover some of my bases, but I figured I'd do an appreciation video and say thank you. But also a little bit of unboxing and kind of go over some of the features of the mouse. Of course, it does have software that'll need to be downloaded. It has 15 buttons. It gives all this information right here on the box, but enough of that. Let's get right into the mouse itself, because that is the meat of the issue, right? Of course, it has a quick start book, but I don't think anyone who's buying a mouse like this needs something like that. Maybe if you just want to know some of the details of it, but it doesn't really have much detail. Those quick start guides never have any of the information you really want. So forget all that noise. This is the Steelseries Rival500 mouse. Now, right off the bat, not a big fan of non-braided cables. This is a rubber cable, so in my opinion, it's going to kink more. It's going to have these folds in it. It's gonna catch on things and like grip desktop edges, or if you've got it routed around like a monitor neck or something. But that's a minor thing, but it's those little details. Come on, Steelseries, you're a big company. Put a braided cable on your products. That's been the standard for about 10 years. So other than that, the mouse is pretty nice looking. It's got really good rubber grips, a little bit of texture here on the side and on this inside where your thumb goes, and then smooth silicone here. That's going to be real comfortable to hold on to for long periods of times if you get those long gaming sessions. Again, 15 buttons. We'll start with the standard left and right click, a DPI, mouse wheel goes each direction for one button each. You're going to have this button over here on the side. It's kind of next to the right click. Two more buttons here next to the left click. And then this is the real deal, where this mouse shines, I think. You've got the 6 buttons here. You got 3 across the top, 2 across the bottom, and 1 here at the knuckle of your thumb. And that's a really nice layout. I was looking online and thinking that's going to look really good. And just sitting here holding it, I haven't even plugged it in or really used it yet. But that feels like it's going to be super intuitive. Now, I personally use a fingertip grip. So I tend to pinch the mouse between my fingers like that and then go to town, right? So that's pretty nice that in usage, I'll be able to just roll the thumb, and hit all these buttons. In other mice, like some of the Logitechs and the Razer Nagas and stuff, where you have the phone pad or like the 10 key layout on the side with the 12 buttons, you've really almost got nowhere to hold it. You almost have to have a palm grip to be able to use those, so that you can go to town with your thumb, because you're not holding the mouse with your thumb. So this is really nice layout for a claw or fingertip grip users. And I mean, obviously I assume it's just fine for palm too. I mean, I don't really use that, but that feels just fine. The switches themselves, I'm used to Omron switches. Every mouse I've used for upwards of a decade have used Omron switches. These are clearly not Omron. They feel really nice and clicky. They feel pretty good, but they are a little bit spongy. And some of them, like these top 3 up here, are very, they got heavy springs in them, right? So that's all. Not a lot of complaints, really. The non-braided cable and maybe the sponginess of these switches. But let's get into it. Who knows? I got to see how it works. So we're going to swap over and plug the thing in, get the software downloaded, put it on the computer, and go over some of that stuff looking at the software. So let's hop right into that. All right, so here's the SteelSeries Engine 3 software for the Rival500 mouse, and I assume it probably covers pretty much all SteelSeries hardware. I just want to take a quick look, not going into any great detail, but a quick look at what you can do with this thing. Now, this mouse comes or the software comes preset with all these apps that you can configure and set up and run with. I mean, I'm not going to actually get into all this. I don't even play any of those games, but I definitely use the hell out of Discord. But you can set it up with custom effects. Maybe if someone joins your channel, you make your mouse vibrate a little bit. This mouse does have a little vibrate on it, so you get that feedback. Any number of things, or even set up, I assume, push to talk and things like that. It's probably really neat. Of course, going back to the gear, if I click the Rival500 mouse here, then it brings up this window. This is where you set up and create macros. This is where you control the RGB. You can set it for, color shift. You can do basically breathing effects, steady. So I can set it for whatever color I want. Let's see here. Yeah, there it goes. And I mean, it looks pretty nice. I would argue there are some out there, if you want all the super RGB rainbow, craziness, then there are other items for you. But, if you're looking for, this is some of the most robust software I've seen. And it seems super easy and super intuitive. So I don't want to mess with button 1. I actually made that mistake a moment ago and had to start over. So I'm going to set this to not deactivated if I can. Let's set this to a keyboard button, alphanumeric. Make it like pressing, let's say R for reload, right? Alright, so that's now my reload button in most any game I would play. And I can even go in, for example, and make it play once, or now you wouldn't do this for reload specifically, but you can do repeat while pressed, so that you could have like a turbo button. I imagine some games with anti-cheat will recognize that as cheating, but now I just press that button and it'll just spam that. That's pretty cool. So it does have a lot of different options and a lot of different things you can do. I'll turn that off. Play once, because that's what you do, so now I've got a quick button there for a reload, but I would set that up for like spacebar maybe, so I can roll and dive and take cover on things, whatever. But very robust software, really great macro creation. You can set up your CPI and DPI. Again, it did have that DPI button. Again, this shows the lock state of that mouse. If I move that, I assume it knows. Maybe not. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Just took a second. So that sets those mouse buttons up. Which one are those? That is button 6 and 7. So let's take a look. I bet if I lock that, I bet I can't change that anymore. Nope, it will still let me change it. So never mind. Either way, really neat, really good little mouse. Only complaints, I'll reiterate those. The shape of the left side of the mouse, I feel like could be a little bit more ergonomic. I feel like I have no place for my ring or pinky fingers. The cord not being braided, I'm nitpick on that, but I haven't seen a non-braided cable on a mouse or a keyboard in, I want to say almost a decade. So I don't know why they went with the non-braided cable there. Other than that, switches don't seem to be Omron switches. They feel slightly spongy, but they're still good. Some of them have really good click, and some of them maybe not so much.